Hello, welcome back to Deadwood Dale, 4th episode. This series is actually going quite fast. I know I said I'm releasing one episode whenever it's ready, so it's taking a bit longer than the other series, but it's not going too slow. We've got quite a lot of progress happened and going to happen, especially in this episode. We'll start off at the top here near last week's coasters polarity. I'm in love with these, as I mentioned last time, but the brief that I gave myself and I gave at the end of this episode for episode 4 has changed quite a lot. I was originally just going to do this kind of, maybe the hotel, but mainly the area around the hotel, finishing off this ride and that flat ride. But it's changed quite a bit. I'm going to put in a little gift shop and photo unit here as well. But the biggest change that I wasn't expecting to do, as you can see from the thumbnail, we have a massive coaster. Yeah, I wasn't planning this at all. This space, pretty much this whole space originally anyway, was just going to be like open space and have like kind of almost like a gardens bit of vibe where there'll be like some nice pathways, benches and stuff, some small trees. Basically, I wanted a block in between the park and the hotel so that it wouldn't be too loud over there, say if you're trying to sleep during the day for whatever reason. Most parks try and do this, and unless you're Fantasyland and you've got flies zooming around next door. But yeah, that's basically what I was going for with this, because this coaster doesn't really make too much noise. The noisier parts like the launchers and speakers and stuff are all at the back over there, so the hotel wouldn't be too noisy, and then I can put some trees in here to block it from that. But yeah, this coaster just kind of materialized out of nowhere. I was messing around with this coaster type because I've never actually used it before. Actually no, I've used it once for an Xbox park. But I wanted to use it again because it's been a while. So I put in these trees to kind of block that. Yeah, and then I just started messing around with this coaster, and this layout kind of happened. It's very obviously reminiscent of Storm Chaser at Polton's. Quite a few different variations though. I tried to go a lot more like newer funky Mack transitions, whereas Polton's kind of feels like the Storm Chaser coaster is very traditional Mack with its transitions and stuff. So this is a little bit newer, a little bit kind of quirky, and to kind of go along with the rest of the park as well, they would have bought this coaster as part of like a 2 coaster bundle from Mack. So I'll let you think about and deliberate in the comments what you think that coaster might be, which will come later in the series. Another Mack is in this park. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the whole way that this coaster looks. Obviously, it's not the most extreme coaster in the world. It's not an extreme spinner like I built in Voyager's Adventure. This is a family spinner. But I'll run you quickly through the layout. It's quite simple with how it works. But I wanted to try and keep quite a small, compact coaster because of especially how close it is to the hotel. So it needs to be kind of quite self-contained and then still kind of work in this entrance area as well. I don't know how much of this area is going to get done in this episode, but ideally this whole industrial area will kind of gently fade into the entrance area. So at the top of the lift hill you've got this kind of nicely profiled pre-drop, then it goes down into this kind of elevated overbank turnaround. Got an off-axis airtime hill there before you plunge into what I'd say is probably the ride's main drop. Quite intense low down turn. You've got a speed hill there, more like a double up into that overbank. Then kind of like a double down, like a hump in the downwards part of that double of the what's it called? Outer bank. There we go. No, overbank. I can't English. Then it dips down underneath these supports, does like a cool twisty cheetah hunt section. Nice helix. Again, the top of this helix isn't like perfectly flat. It goes like off axis. And then another quite sharp overbank turn to a little dip into the brakes. I might make that dip a bit lower actually, see if we do get a bit of airtime going into the brakes. But apart from that, I'm quite happy with how this is looking. The actual station platform, much like the last coaster, obviously this isn't just going to be the queue. This queue's tiny. I might try and have it go around some of the ride area. I think I'm going to curl it round here. You can have some sort of scenery piece in there, and then maybe it might go off down there. Depends how big I want the queue to be. But you will come up into the station. Obviously, this, it depends how I want to do it. Because at the moment I've got this station kind of quite elevated, so the only way you can get out of the station is this, what are they called? Stairs. That's the word. So I've put in the wheelchair accessible lift. But if this is, the whole queue is ramped, you might actually be alright for that. But I don't know whether I think I might cut the queue short here so you've got a little cut through, so maybe put the lift here so that you would just approach the ride, go ride it, and then instead of having another lift on this side you can just exit it back down that way. I think this whole area with the scenic railway and the scenic car ride will come as part of this episode when I do all of this coaster up here. Just kind of Again, merging this whole area into this because I want it to be kind of like a continuous experience as you move through slightly different variations of themes. So that'll be when that comes in, but all in all, I'm really liking this coaster, and I'm liking how the whole front of the park's looking now as well. Obviously, once I've got the hotel in this area, kind of like a chill, relaxed area down here, out looking all of this, I might put a flat ride in there as well. But once I've done that, this whole kind of section front of the park will be finished. And then we've just got all of this. It's just like the same amount of that. There's like another half of the park yet to come. I think I was mentioning this in my Discord, but depending on when Planet Coaster 2 releases and how far we get with this, there might be like a fenced off area that says like future development or something, or like something new coming soon. It could be something I could revisit in the future and like add another ride to this, maybe like a couple of months down the line. Or when I upload to the workshop, you could add a creation to that area, see how it works, and I could be really interested to have a look at those. Like I mentioned before about that this template park is on the workshop, and it's great to see a couple of people have actually started making stuff with it as well, which is fantastic. And it's been great to see all of the photos you've been sharing in my Discord. If you haven't already joined the Discord, there's over 1,000 members in it at the moment. It's a great place to share your Planet Coaster work, ask for help, then you'll get notification uploads for when I upload and everything, so it's a great place to be. Update 2 time. Welcome to Update 2. I thought I'd start from up here so you can kind of get an appreciation of how much we've done on the park so far. Quite a lot. Still quite a lot to go, but some exciting developments about stuff that's going on over here, which I'll reveal later in the series, which has been a very unexpected thing to happen, but I'm very happy about it. It involves a certain couple of individuals. I will leave that there. But yeah, the rest of the park is looking... I'm in a tree. The rest of the park is looking very nice at the moment. I'm really happy with how it's kind of turning out. Obviously, this is Update 2, so just be warned. There's a lot of stuff that kind of still needs to happen as the park progresses. But first off, we've got some carrot. No, I've added quite a lot more to this scenic car ride and kind of decided on the theme for it. It's going to be kind of like a farm style theme. It's a light theme, it's more like a stylization. It's not going to have like a narrative or anything. You're just kind of going around this farm style area. So that'll be what is kind of going on over here. I've started to put in the queue line a little bit and the actual station building. I thought I would show you this before I've put the roof on so you can kind of get an appreciation of sort of how detailed I like to go with some of these building styles. Obviously, I like to build them how they would be built in real life with all the beams and everything. So I've got these like A-frames going over the top. They're all connected to each other. I've got the idea for these kind of shelf, I don't know, storage pieces in the actual trusses of the roof from, I can't remember what it's called, but the Mack powered coaster at Europa Park. This has quite a similar station design where it's got like stuff in the rafters, like it's storage. So that was kind of where I came up with the idea for that, but I've started to like landscape the area a little bit more. Added some like crops and stuff in, got some like wheat down here, and then like I showed you earlier, the carrots. If you're wondering what these are made of, they're the spire pieces from the ancient temple set. I think, oh no, it might even be like the arms or fingers of like the ancient monument things. And then I've just got the same flowers that I've got over here. They're just those but coloured green. So yeah, that's how that all works. Yeah, so that station will be nice once that's finished off. I've also moved on to the station of the train ride. I've had quite a nice time doing this. I did this today. Just adding like a couple of bits of details and stuff. I wanted it to be quite different to the rest of the buildings because this is supposed to be like the whole park's supposed to be kind of like a town or a village. And you kind of think that all these buildings have been built at different times over this town's development kind of thing. So I thought this train might be one of the more newer additions. So I thought I'd give it a slightly more newer Western style building. So I've got these like brick footers for the columns. Then these are some of the ancient pieces, like the carved ones. These like create a trim around the bottom of the building, like a curb. And I've got these brick pillars with the brick walls. You've got the beams and then the wood on the top as well. And then I'm going to create this like interesting roof design where like there's two sloped parts on each side with this like, I don't know, sticky out bit. And then I've started to put the queue in for that as well. And that's all this area, but then there's kind of behind me, which you will have seen on the thumbnail, we have another coaster. Yay! A Mack, not extreme spinner this time, it's a Mack family spinner. I did an extreme spinner in the last park, you've all really seemed to like that. So I thought I'd do kind of another one, and it's not a coaster type I've used that much before. I think I've only ever used it once. which is in a park on Xbox. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a little western park. I think I've got a video on it on the channel if you want to watch it. But yeah, the coaster's now fully in. I can't remember how much of this was done in the last update, but fully custom supported. Should we see how many pieces there are? 375 pieces to custom support a whole coaster. Not that bad. Then I've added bits of queuing and scenery around it and everything. These fences are an absolute nightmare. How many pieces are these? Yeah, this is nearly 2,000 pieces just for this. These are all like there's vertical ropes and the horizontal ropes, and then these are some nice TMTK beams. I thought that was quite nice, a little bit different for the fence. And then you have the actual station building here as well, which I really need to watch the updates back. I can't remember how much of this I actually did, but station building's looking a bit bland on the outside, but quite nice on the outside. I need to obviously add more detail into it and stuff. I added some horses as well. There's some horses. Nice TMTK horses. I might add like a splash in there or something. This isn't actually water. This is that pool thing. I don't know really what it's for. It's like a cattle drinking pool or something. I don't know what the actual piece is called, but the terrain was being annoying. I couldn't be bothered. Down here we have our hotel, like I mentioned last time. So I don't think all of this is going to get built in this first. Well, I was going to say this night, the update for the next one, but I don't even think this will be done all this episode because it's all this area for this episode and that flat ride that I need to go on to. So yeah, whether this will get done, I don't know, but you'll find out. This is going to be like the main hotel building. I'm not going to do the interior of this because that would just take ages, and more importantly, it would take up valuable piece count I'm going to use the rest of the park, so I don't want it to get too laggy too soon. I've added this outside the hotel. It's kind of the theming vibe I'm going for. Bandit's Bunkhouse, as I've gone for the name for the hotel. I really like that. And I've just got some kind of miscellaneous theming junk out here. This little water feature thing, I just thought it looked quite cool. So you've got something to look at as you come up to the hotel. And I'm going to do a similar sort of thing down here as well, where it's going to be kind of like a landscaping block between the hotel and the car park. My idea for the hotel is that it's going to have the same like perimeter brick wall that runs around the bottom, and then on the top you're going to have, similar to, I can't remember which, I think it's the Rulantica Hotel at Europa Park, how it has like, it's obviously one all built big building, but because how the different facades, is it? It might be the Rulantica Hotel, the Kronostar Hotel, I can't remember, but there's like different facades that, no, it's definitely the Kronostar. There's like different facades that make up the hotel, so it looks like it's made of loads of different buildings, but it's just the facades making it look like that. I'll explain it better when I've done more on it. Then outside the front of the hotel, well, the back, sorry, you have this raised seating area, which will be for hotel guests only. Then there's going to be a little check point here, so you can like check your hotel admission stuff so you can get up there and into the hotel from the park. This will also double up as the hotel's private entrance to the park. And then here, this is just open for like public use while you're in the park. It's just like a nice chilled out green area where you can come kind of have your food, escape from the rides and the chaos of the park a little bit. Put a nice custom fence in along there, some tables and stuff. 2 food units at the back just to kind of service this area. Oh, and I did this flat ride as well. I really like the skin I did for this. I just basically built one facade and then just copied it over to the other side and then copied it round however many times that is, 8 times. Yeah, it's kind of nice and detailed. I don't really know what style I was going for. I just kind of started building, like you've got these slightly off-axis slats in there, and then a couple of beams and stuff to port in it. The roof is made out of planks as well. I wanted to do a lot more stuff custom in this park, so it's not just like the roof piece as it was, which I know I've done for those buildings over there, but it's like a roof has been actually made out of planks. I thought it was quite a cool effect, and I really like the way that looks. Then inside you have this flat ride, which I've checked that it doesn't clip around or anything, so that's quite good. Adds a little bit of shading for the queue as well, which is nice. And then, yeah, it just looks quite cool. This flat ride, which was supposed to be, why is there so many mechanics? This flat ride that's going to be part of this themed area. Again, I will try and get this themed up in this episode. It's kind of like a catch-up episode, this one, to finish this whole front area of the park. Obviously, you've got the main attraction for episode 4, but there's lots of little like stuff going on as well. So the train ride, 2 flat rides, all this seated area and all the landscaping that needs to do to interconnect it all, and the car ride. There's a lot going on, but a lot still more to do for the rest of the park as well. And I've tried to extend the track for the train ride around a little bit more. I don't really know how it's going to interact with this, because this coaster comes out into a lot of this area, and so does that one actually. So I don't know whether I'm going to connect, if you can see the cursor, connect the train ride across onto the island and have a station there. Then I can have like some queue here and then come back, but then it almost feels a bit pointless because it's not that far away, as opposed to if it was like all the way down here. So yeah, I need to see how that will work. It might go in like a tunnel around the back of the park and then have a station here and then a tunnel that comes out here. Yeah, but you know pretty much what's coming in the rest of this park. The members will know exactly what's coming in the rest of the park because they'll have seen probably everything. Ride here, ride here, ride here, and then 2 exciting developments going on here like I mentioned at the start of the video, but you'll find out more about those in the rest of the series. But yeah, it's looking quite good so far. I'm really happy with it. I've put in these trees as well to kind of hide this coaster from the car park, so obviously you don't really want to be going around the coaster and seeing the car park, so it's quite kind of disguised in the back there as well. Yeah, that's about it for update 2. See you in update 3. Hopefully this is looking a lot more complete. Right then, update 2. Definitely got carried away and might have forgotten to record updates, but we're going to go through what I've done. Firstly, carrots. The theme for this ride, I'm going for like kind of a farm yard kind of theme. It's kind of a bit loose because it's just supposed to fit in the wider western village, but yeah, that's what I've gone for. So we've got some carrots, we've got some sunflowers, and we've got some wheat, and more stuff to come. But yeah, I'm really liking, oh, there's a horse as well. We need to name the horses. Comment names for the horses. But yeah, so we've got all this ride kind of getting there, theming up wise. I put a roof on this station that I showed you at the start. Over here, I've added more kind of stuff to the toilets, so they're looking a bit more presentable. And we have the Deadwood Express, my first ever kind of like transport train ride in a park. I thought this was quite cool. Never really done anything like this before. So you've got kind of the queue section here. Gives you a couple of nice views across the rest of the park as well. And then the actual station building itself. Yeah, there was some of this in last time, wasn't there? I really wanted to make this quite different for me and have like a lot of different layers and stuff. So I need to add a few more details to the inside, I think. But the outside's looking quite nice. I like the kind of stone, almost plinth thing that's around the bottom of it. And you've got the custom, what's it called? Wooden platform thing that's clipping through there. I need to fix that. And then I've got a nice bit of foliage, which leads you on to this nice photo opportunity that I've put in as well. There is actually one of the Vista Point thingies in there, so the guests can kind of come here and have a photo with the Deadwood Dale sign above their heads, and you get a nice outlook on the rest of the park there as well, which I really like. But the main event for this part of the park, apart from the coaster, is this flat ride skin, which I've now completed. I am loving the way that this looks. This took forever to try and get all these little details in and get it the way I was kind of hoping it to look. And then I've put all the like path in and around it as well. But yeah, I'm liking the way this looks. Still need to add a couple more details to the actual structure itself and the kind of base pad for that ride. Over here, the coaster has had quite a bit more work done to it, especially with the queue. Added bits of foliage and trees and stuff to just kind of make the area feel a lot more alive. This isn't staying, by the way. Oh, and then I've added another horse in here as well, because I thought it's kind of like an extension of the farmyard theme, this area, but it might also be like, I don't know, something to do with this ride, maybe like the horses or not, I don't really know. I need to kind of theme this in and give it some sort of like a brief story, kind of, well, not really story, just a reason for why this ride's here. I kind of want to do that with all the rides in the park. Like this one's some machine, this one's kind of like a really big machine thing, could have been like a transportation system for industrial materials, and same with the rest of the park. I want all these rides to kind of like have an in-park, in-universe purpose, if that makes sense. I forgot to add this little fountain here as well. But yeah, that's kind of all I've done so far for this. Need to add a few more bits to the station building as well. It's looking a bit bland, but yeah, that's, oh, there's this area as well over here. I've developed this kind of park relaxation area a little bit more as well. Put a trim down the side of the path. You get quite a nice view of the what they're called, the coasters over there as well, which is quite nice. View of this seating area as well, which is really cool looking. You can come down here, it's like nice and secluded, all the nature around you, and you still get nice views of the coasters above you as they like fly around the track as well, which is really nice. Like a couple of different seating options as well, and then I need to add in these 2 food units around here. As for this section here, I don't know whether the hotel will actually get finished in this episode or not, but this is like the hotel guest only entrance, so I need to put some sort of system here where it can be staffed and there'll be someone who checks that you've got hotel tickets. And you can come up here. I've put this ramp so it's accessible for wheelchair users, and I've put these landings, like a landing in the middle, so it's not ramped the whole way. so you've got a bit of a rest stop. So you, obviously, if you're on your own in a wheelchair, this would be quite hard to get up and down, so you've got a little rest landing. And this is a different shade of flooring as well, just from sort of a visual thing. It's kind of helpful if the flat is one colour and the like ramped is another, especially if you've got like visual impairments. It just helps, so you've got that difference in colour, so you can tell where you're walking. Over here we've got this kind of like solar shading area, I don't know what the right word for it is, like a nice covering, so you can eat here and not be completely in the sun. This is probably where like the hotel's restaurant, breakfast, evening food offering place would spill out onto. Obviously it's going to have indoor seating as well if I do the interior of the hotel, which I don't think I'm going to, but yeah, this is kind of the spill out seating for that. And then you can sit here as well and get quite a nice view of the park. It's mostly quite hidden, obviously you've got nice views of this coaster, but mostly hidden by the foliage and stuff, but that's completely purposeful. I did have plans for a much noisier coaster to go in this area of the park, which I've relocated, and decided to put this spinner here because obviously it's a steel coaster, it's going to be quieter. And in terms of like all of the foliage and trees and stuff that's around the back of it, that's acting as like a bit of a sound block. So if the much noisier coaster was here, the sound block would be less effective, but because it's a steel coaster, it's not as loud. It's a bit of a sound block and like a quieter zone as well that surrounds the hotel, hence why there's so much foliage here as well. Because obviously this would only be really used on the night, like to get back to your room and go to sleep. But say if the park has like days where it's staying open late or something for like some Halloween event, or like late nights in summer, or you're just trying to sleep during the day because maybe you've got a headache or something, you don't want it to be too loud around the hotel, so that's why that's all like that. And I think that's about it. Next update should hopefully have most of this done, and then we can move on to the rest of the park, which these next few episodes are going to be quite crazy. The next episode will be this ride here. Next episode after that will, I think, be over here. The episode after that, I think, will be over here. There might be an episode in between at some point to add maybe like a flat ride and a couple of other bits around the park. And then there's going to be an episode covering this pretty big area, which has had some exciting updates, as you'll see in the future of the park. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. Hope you are too. Let's see where we get in update 3. Right, final update time, and the skyline of this park is forever changing. There we go. The second coaster for Deadwood Dale is now in, and I'm really happy with it. Like I said at the start of the episode, I never really expected that this episode would contain a coaster at all. I had other plans, like the hotel, which is not done. But yeah, I'll talk about more what I'm going to do with that and the rest of the park towards the end of this episode. But the main focus is this coaster. I'm really happy with it. I like the way it looks. I like that it's quite hidden away from the car park by the trees as well, so you can't like see it all in your face and everything. And the fact that you get this view for it, oh there you go, good timing. The fact that you get this view for it from the car park is like a nice little tease for all the attractions as well, because you get kind of a little view of the Intamin over there as well. So the park itself is, because of all the buildings and trees and stuff, is like quite well shielded and hidden. There is a certain coaster that might disrupt that later in the park series, but I'll wait until that happens. I did have a slight predicament with this, and that was to do with the train ride that I put around the park that you will have seen in previous episodes. Now, because of how short circuit this is, I did think about having only one station to it. It does now have 2, but I was planning it for it just to have 1 and it be more of like a scenic ride that goes around the park and just shows you around and you get off exactly where you get on. So I added this accessibility centre where you can basically get like wheelchairs and mobility scooters from, so you can kind of have a more easy access around the park for those who need it. But now obviously the train ride acts as a transport ride and goes around the whole park anyway, so we've got both, which is never a bad thing. Obviously go in the entrance. I've added more guests as well. I think we were at 200 guests before, we're at 400 now, just to try and fill out some of the queues a little bit. We went through that guy's face. The entrance is still looking pretty much the same. Next couple of episodes, this area will start to be more complete and I'll actually do the interior of this restaurant as well, so don't get worried about that it's not going to be added at any point. I've added quite a few of these, what they call like the life ring thingies, just because of all the water around the park. I thought that'd be a good safe addition to add. And then this is the first like major change you'll see in the park. We've added all the theming and scenery to this car ride, so this car ride's now finished. I'm really happy with the way that this looks. I love this kind of like seating area here that's really close to the attraction. You get some nice views that goes around. I need to update that sign. You get some pretty good views over the rest of the park as well. I'm just going to pretend you didn't see that. I might have forgotten to delete something out there. The actual car ride itself, though, is looking really nice. It's quite a popular one. You really need a pee. There's the toilet's literally there. But yeah, this ride needs a name, so please comment a name down below for the scenic car ride. That would be really nice if you could do that. We won't take a ride on it, but I'll walk the track quickly so you can see it. We'll take a ride on it in the park tour. But yeah, the queue is looking all nice. Station, all like this. It's like quite simple with some stuff up there. You've got some nice plants around here. Got a little bridge that goes over this piece of like a train car, I think this is. So like some sunflowers and some wheat and stuff. Oh, coaster. You go around the corner and get some more views of different things. You got like carrots and stuff. We love carrots. Might add some more theme into this. Obviously it's just a back of house offices building. Might add some windows and stuff so they can actually have some daylight while they're working their desk jobs up there. And then you come around here and you've got the horses, and then you're finished. And the exit of the attraction. Over here we have the toilets, which I think we were in last time. The Deadwood Express, which is our train ride, which I should probably put in test mode. I'll show you where the other station is later. And you've got all these like nice flowers out here as well. The members will have already seen what is going all over here, which is going to be really cool. I'm excited for that. There's well, next week's coaster. I'll mention this towards the end, but I'm undecided of whether next week's coaster is one of two, but members have already seen that. So yeah, what is going on over here? We've got the fountain. I can't remember whether that was in last time. Big horse statue. Name the horse if you want. Over here we have the spinning coaster. The spinning coaster's all done now. That's nice timing. Please comment down below a name for this as well. So we need names for the scenic car ride and this ride as well. But I'm so happy with the views you get of this ride from pretty much everywhere. We'll have a look more down that path towards the end of this final update for this episode. But I'm really liking this. Got kind of a bit of a blank space here though, so I might want to put something in that in the future. But it's looking nice. Got the station here, obviously the ride sign would go there. Got some triggered fountains you can see as well. You can probably see them better from when you're on ride. And that's your exit path there. Got the accessible wheelchair lift to get you up to the station if you need it. And then this is the queue line. I'm really happy with this. This fencing, I think I mentioned in one of the previous updates, took a lot of pieces. It's quite a high piece count park for me, this, because there's a lot more detail than I'm used to. I love how close you get to the coaster though. It's like all going above you and everything. Fully custom supported as usual, with this being a park by me. I like my custom supports. It just looks so cool though, doesn't it? Seeing it all overhead. Don't know why it's not going around. I've got the ride on 35-second dispatches and not blocking the station as well, unless it's gone down. I don't know what it is with this coaster, but it just keeps going down. I had problems with the pathing as well, like when guests were exiting the ride, they couldn't get off the path, they kept complaining they were stuck, but it was all connected up. I don't know, Planko problems. Around here, get towards the coaster, there's a bit of an elevated bit as you come up towards the station. And the actual station itself, it's still not finished inside. I did all have it as this red wood inside. But it wasn't really looking right. It just looked all a bit the same, and I thought that it wouldn't really have the same outdoor cladding on the inside, so I've gone for this dark wood instead. And there's an engineer walking downstairs, a mechanic, it broke down. But yeah, I've added all this custom wood to the inside, which is looking quite red for some reason. I don't know whether the red of the other materials like seeping through. You know what Planko's like, and lighting, it doesn't really work very well. But there's some beams up here. I might do what I did with the station of that ride over there, where I put like some planks across these and created like shelves and put stuff on it. She's on fire! What is going on? I think it might be broken again. I'll try and fix it. I was going to mention as well that the transfer track for this is just like Storm Chaser at Paulton's Park, is underneath the station. So the whole, like this, probably the dark wooded section will lift down, and then that's how they can work on that train. It's pretty cool how it all works, and there's a transfer track underneath, but yeah, I'll show you that when we come off. Hopefully it's not broken then, and we'll go for a ride. We'll take a ride on the front row, but obviously we're going to be spinning, so I'll probably try and include like a different POV in the park tour, maybe like a track POV or something, but we'll go for the full spinning experience now. So it unlocks at the top here. Hopefully we get some nice like path interaction and stuff with this. I haven't ridden it in a while, I can't remember what it's like. Can't even tell where we are. We're just spinning that much. It's really nice near misses with the other elements of track on this as well. so fun. And you get the water interaction there with the fountain too, which you can't really see. There's a lot of nice profiling on this ride. I was really happy with it. Now we'll do a front row bumper POV now, I think, so you can see some of that profiling. Obviously my inspiration for this was definitely Storm Chaser at Paulton's Park, but there's quite a few other Family Mack Extreme, not Family Mack Extreme Spinner, Family Mack spinners out there that I took inspiration from as well. And there's some very Mack transitions and like double downs and all sorts going on in this. I like that element there, like cool little S-bendy section. Just get some good spin on it and then back into the brakes. Yeah, like I said, really happy with that coaster. And then you come down here underneath this little netting bit to catch anything from like, loose articles and stuff, and then that's the door that will get you underneath the station to access the transfer track and maintenance area and everything. You get quite a nice view coming out of there. And then we work our way down to the rest of the stuff going on in this episode. We have the flying carousel, this nice flat ride that for some reason has the most criminally low prestige of any ride in the game. I hate that feature from Planet Coaster. I really don't know why they added it and you can't turn it off, but this ride never gets a queue. I'd say never gets a queue, never even gets a single person on it. No one got off on that cycle, it just runs and just kind of sits there looking all sad, which is a shame, but yeah, it looks cool anyway. I'm really happy with the way that that looks. These like nice wooden structures, I think I talked about them in the last update. It took a while to get all the detailing in, but I'm really happy with it. That's kind of how I want to do the rest of the park, like that highly detailed. You can see there's lights there as well. This entire park does have night lighting that's all done, but I will show you that on the park tour. I love the way this coaster sits. I haven't actually approached it from this angle before, but that's so cool. Good timing. Yeah, I just love the way that this looks. Over here we have the hotel. I need to put another sign on there actually as well for this kind of like more relaxed area. I might put some like bird sound effects and stuff in this, like the ambient speakers. I need to do that. I feel that'd be a really nice addition. But yeah, you get good views of like the coaster and stuff, but because it's so far out of the way from the rest of the park, because of all these trees as well to absorb all the noise, it makes this area like so nice and secluded, somewhere where you can come and just chill out in the middle of the park day. Then you've got the food options down there as well with the staff room. I need to add more details to that obviously and finish it when we do the hotel. I showed you up there last time, so we won't go up there in this final update. And then the last thing for this episode is the flat ride, which I can't remember if I named or not, but this is the Ghost Hour Skyfly. I've added quite, I would say, minimal for me theming for this. I might go back and add a bit more over the series, but I just quite like the way that this sits. Like, the rest of the area around it's quite nicely landscaped and everything, and you wouldn't want to mess too much with this type of ride, like theming wise, just for like maintenance access and stuff, to the actual, like, I don't know what you call it, the arm thing and the motor at the top and stuff. So that's why the theming's like quite unintrusive. I finished off this area around here as well, added some more of the bench seating, and we've still got the two same food units from last time, these benches here, and it's just rising up now. This is the sign I've put for it. No, I haven't done the name. There we go. I thought I had, but I couldn't remember. So this is a sign I've made for this ride. Obviously, it's the red and the blue to tie it back to Polarity, our Intamin family thrill coastery thing. So that kind of links it back to that. So a name suggestion for this one as well would be helpful. There's a lot of names for one episode. So if you want to comment some names down for the scenic car ride, the Mack family spinner, and the Ghost Hour Skyfly, those would be all really, really appreciated. There is no wall here, I forgot to add that one. But the queue line for this, quite nice and like secluded, custom flooring and everything. You both really need a pee. I need to add other toilets up here. I think there's only 2 toilets in the park at the moment. And then you enter the ride here. There's a member of staff with the button, so obviously they would come this side of the fence before they started the ride cycle. And there you go. Got the Ghost Hour Skyfly flying overhead. I really like this type of ride. I've only ever done, I think, is it like 2 or 3, and I'm just terrible at them. It's so annoying. I think my record's like, is it like 4 or 5 spins or something terrible, but yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this whole area. It was kind of a complete surprise episode for me. I wasn't expecting for there to be a coaster here, really. At least not this soon in the park series. I was going to kind of leave it as kind of, well, I'll show you actually. So I was going to leave this area as kind of like a development plot. And what I mean by that is the rest of the park actually is going to have a few of these areas. So it'll be like a new attraction coming soon kind of plot. These are just put here simply because I don't know how long I've got left with this park series, like with Planet Coaster 2. We don't know when it's coming out yet. So I want to see how much of this park series I can get done before that game releases. Ideally, I want to finish it, but I'm going to have a couple of areas, not loads, maybe like this one and another one. I might have like 2 areas like this where it's like new attraction coming soon. And if I don't ever get to add it because Planet Coaster 2 comes out, then it could be one of you guys adds a ride in it. That could be really cool. Like one of you lot add a new attraction, which could be really nice if Planet Coaster 1 is like still alive and thriving when Planet Coaster 2 releases. But as for the rest of the park, it's looking quite busy, isn't it? This whole front section is so like, I mean, it's done pretty much. A couple more details I need to add, but like it's so dense. There's so much going on. I don't think I've ever done a park series where there's like been this much crammed into such a small space, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel too compact. It's like nice and cozy, but like a pleasant amount of busyness, if that makes sense. Like it's not complete sensory overload. Like this is why I'm adding areas like this, so there's a place to come and chill out if you get too overwhelmed or just want a break from all the hustle and bustle of the busyness of the park. It probably helps that there's not that many people in the park at the moment as well, but like once I open it up fully when the park series is done, I'll need to add a lot more guests to like flesh out all the areas. So yeah, as for the train ride, obviously this is the first station, and then the second station I've had to put actually on the island in the middle, and then I'm going to build like walkways and stuff to get to it. But that's because next episode, which I don't actually know what it'll be at the moment, so it's pointless in me asking you to name the coaster because you've got that many other things to name in this episode, will either be a coaster here, as you've probably guessed about what that might be, or a coaster here. I don't know which one of these 2 it'll be. I still haven't decided yet. But these are 2 huge coasters. One of them's Thrill, one of them's Family. So I'll leave that here for which one of those that might be. But yeah, there's quite busy going on down here. There's a lot happening. So that's why this train station ended up being on the lake, because that's what I was on about at the start, where I put in the accessibility hub, like where you can get the mobility scooters and stuff from. Because I thought it was just going to be like one scenic journey around the lake, and that would be it. It would only have this station. So for like a transport ride, it doesn't really work, because you just get back to the same place you were. Whereas with this, you can get from one side of the park to the other, save your legs a little bit, or if in case you need a wheelchair or like mobility scooter, it's really helpful for that too. So yeah, that's this park series kind of developing quite quickly. We haven't got too many episodes left, I'd say. This is what, like episode 1, 2, 3, and this is 4 episodes worth. Episode 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe I think I'll get out of this, maybe 9, 10 including the tour. So we're just under halfway through, I'd say. Still a lot more to come, and the rides are only going to get more thrilling as we go. A lot more still to come with this park, but I'm so happy with the way that it's all turning out, and the support has been absolutely mental, so thank you so much for that too. I am loving building this park series. I'm having a fantastic time. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Deadwood Dale. Like I said before this park series started, and in the first episode, I know a few people have been commenting, the episodes for this park series will be releasing when they are finished. They will not be releasing on a week-by-week basis like my other park series have, because as you can see, I'm recording this like now. This park series isn't finished yet. There's still so much more to go. So the episodes will be uploading when the episode like is done and built and ready. So that's why there'll be a bit more of a gap than usual in between episodes, but it means I can build stuff on this sort of scale. So I'd rather have it that way. Less stress. Thank you so much for watching again. Really appreciating all the support. If you like what you're seeing and you like the sort of stuff and you're not subscribed yet, please have a look at all the other videos I do, and so you can subscribe. Keep the notifications on as well so you can see when I post new videos. There'll be a lot more stuff like this in the future, and then obviously a lot more content for when Planet Coaster 2 launches. But yeah, really enjoyed this episode. It's been fun. I hope you have as well. If you have liked it, please like it. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.